All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Ben's Brick Designs. Yes, we're getting that groove on. Welcome, Johnny. Welcome to Sunday morning. Thank you for being here. Hope everybody's doing well. We're going to go ahead and just kind of get started. Working on the SLS. This guy, the Artemis Space Launch System. We got as far as building the... Oh, of course the camera doesn't work. It worked up until 2 seconds ago. I swear, this camera. Where is it? Table cam. Let's see if we can just toggle it and have it work. Sometimes it works okay if I just toggle it. Okay, well, it'll work for a little bit now. I'll have to reboot and reinstall and whatever. Good morning, Missy. How are you? Are you back from your vacation? Or you're on your vacation? So we're on bag 8, I believe. Let's get back to this guy. Yes, bag 8. Bag 8 looks to be a lot of dark tan. Johnny, I meant to say the other day, I've missed like 2 or 3 of your streams, and I have super apologize. I've been meaning to try to get back into watching them. For some reason, Tuesday nights, every time, I'm like, I need to set the reminder so it pops up again. I just assume I'll get a reminder, but I haven't been. I just get stuck playing video games or watching something with Beth, and I'm like, oh crap, it's like 11 o'clock, and I'm like, God crap, I missed the stream again. So I will get back on it for you. So I hope everyone's doing well. Nope, still in Connecticut till the 31st. Well, I'm glad you're taking time out of your day to watch the stream. I appreciate that. Time out of your vacation. I hope you have a wonderful day planned. Where in Connecticut are you? I had a family who lived in Glastonbury. That's all I know of Connecticut. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, Brick Fair Virginia is coming up. That apparently is a big one to go to. Brick Slopes in Salt Lake is also one I think everybody's looking forward to. So, one of these days I'd love to be able to kind of take advantage of some of these other events. That's a little... So that's a kind of a design issue right there. I want to be able to put this on here, but this guy, it's a little odd. So this plate right here is on one brick. So it's like this, right? And then they want you to put something else on top of it, and you could easily push that down in there. So I get it, they're saving space and everything, but at the same time, I'm like, I push that right down in there trying to get it done. Waterbury. Don't even know where that is, but it sounds delightful. I hope you guys have a good trip. So I sent out an email about the meeting yesterday. You didn't miss a ton. Some good mocks, a lot of what I learned at Brick Rodeo kind of stuff. A lot of it was the motion workshop that Steve Guinness did. Some people kind of adapted, this is what I learned at Brick Rodeo, into I need to learn how to do blah, blah, blah. We had a couple new people. Henry's dad was actually... Henry is this 14-year-old kid who's been there the whole time for the last couple years, and I thought he was like 17 or 16 or 17. He's actually 14. Because he's very tall. And his parents always bring him, and I'm like, you guys should build too. And they're like, no, it's all right. It's his thing. So yesterday, his dad actually built something, and it was very cool. And he seemed very excited about it. So some good stuff. Some, like, Frankie did a light up thing for a spaceship. Cliff had or Brian, Cliff's dad, had a bridge with some good techniques. We talked about the next project support project we're doing, and James had a nice slideshow about his vision for the project. So hopefully it'll be as successful as the Mars base was. The only downside that I see for this project is that we're displaying with the idea that we're going to Houston next year. So that was said very plainly. If you don't plan on going to Houston next year, this probably isn't going to be something for you unless you want to build something and have somebody take it, which I don't want it to be like, yeah, I'll build it and then I'll just have somebody take it for me. Because if we get a ton of those, we're going to have a whole car just for our project support people. But it'll be fine. It's going to be fun. I'm just going to repurpose the Mars base tower to be something steampunky. I'll just take the white paneling off and the domes off the top and just kind of redo it. Keep the Technic structure thing going. I want to figure out how to do monorail around it. I think that would be cool. So I'm going to get with the group and be like, who would like to have a monorail connected to their steampunk building? I was thinking of maybe motorizing it too. Have a rotating thing somewhere. So hopefully I have time to figure that out. That'll be fun. This is a great piece to get in dark tan. Get a lot of these. Again, don't think I'll ever take this apart because it's going to go well with the space stuff. And I'm already planning on what I'm doing with the shelves back here. I think a lot of the birds and insect stuff may be going away. Bagged up and stored. It's good display stuff, but it's taking up room, and I want to try to clean this whole area up a little bit. And then this will all just be space. Which is weird, because all my Star Wars stuff is over there. And I'm not really known for like doing space mocks. You're the microfighter guy. So I should have a display of microfighter somewhere. Maybe that's what'll happen. Oh, speaking of microfighters. I finally was able to get a hold of this dude. The Rex microfighter Y-Wing. It's been back ordered on Lego for a long time, and every time I try to check Walmart or Target or something, it's always out of stock, and eBay is always at least twice as much. So like you can't get these on eBay for less than like $25, and I'm like, it's a $12 set. And it's because of the figure. Because at one point the Venator came with this figure, right? So this was basically a $650 figure. Then this came out, and it basically, I think they're different versions. Like it's a phase 1, phase 2 Rex. I think this is a phase 2. No, that's phase 1. But it's like, yes, I think, I don't know this well enough. I haven't researched it well enough, but I think he's got like a phase 2 body and a phase 1 helmet. So they switched him or something. So people are a little upset about that. All the CMF people, or the Star Wars MF people. But it's, it's a microfighter. There's nothing really to it. It takes 10 minutes to build. And the figure itself is fine. It's a mini figure. It comes with his double blasters and a pauldron piece, shoulder piece over here. That's kind of cool looking. It's fabric. I'm not really sure if the printing's proper or not, and then he's got his head, a little patch there. I think that patch is supposed to be a Band-Aid where they took out his inhibitor chip. So this is definitely post Clone Wars, because this is Bad Batch Rex, right? In his Y-Wing. So that's pretty cool. So I got that. And I found it at Target finally, just on a whim. I was like, every couple weeks I'll check retailers and see who's got it, and Target finally had it. I was like, oh, where can I get it? And can't really tell what those pieces are. I think it's this, that. They're like, it's the one right by you. I'm like, oh. And it's always weird to me, their shopping like location thing. They're like, it's not anywhere within, it's out of stock anywhere within 50 miles of you, except for this one store that's just down the street. I'm like, well, but that's within 50 miles of me. So I buy it, and then I was going to go get dog food anyway, which is right, the PetSmart's right near there. And I was like, yeah, I'll go pick that up. And I go into the store, and I have my QR code ready, and the lady goes, oh, this is in the drive pickup, so I'll go grab it for you. And I'm like, oh, I didn't tell it specifically that I was going to go through the weird drive-in. It's covered parking where they have the people run into the store and grab it for you. I'm like, that feels a little bougie for me. Like, I'll go into the store and pick up my $12 Lego set. I don't want to make a minimum wage person do that for me. That seems the height of bourgeois classlessness. And then I went home and ordered, sandwiches, and had somebody deliver sandwiches. So, I mean, like, what do I know? Almost caused a problem. Let's see. I don't want to open Discord because it usually screws up my cameras. In the general tab, I don't know why this person would try to send me a call. Missed call. Somebody tried to call me on Discord. I'm like, I don't know who you are. What are you working on, Johnny? Working on these? You working on shirts? Oh, look at those great shirts. Look at those great shirts. That's awesome. I don't know if you can see that better over here. Those are rad shirts, man. I would like one. I'll see if I can get you a hat. Would you wear a knit cap? I'll trade you a knit cap for a shirt. I think you could probably get away with wearing knit caps in Pennsylvania more than I could in Austin, because it is lay warm here. We were at the football game, the Austin FC game last night, and boy howdy was it toasty. And of course they lost. Oh, did I miss? Yeah, it was on both sides up here. Okay. No, they didn't lose. It was a tie. It was 2-2. But there were a lot of super questionable calls. The ref was not awesome, and he was definitely not on our side. I feel bad because I don't think he was a bad ref. Like, I think he got a lot of the calls right. I just think some of the calls were a little questionable. Why do I have an extra one? All right, well, this is weird. I guess because it's this size. Trying to see if there's a spot that I'm missing. I don't see one. So I guess that's extra. Yeah, alright, cool. The site I'm going through can pretty much put any design on anything, bags, hats. Oh, what site are you using? You doing Redbubble? Flip over. And we're going like this. And we're on bag 9. Because this is a Cheryl and Claire. This is Odd Colored Sheep does this. And I actually do wear mine around the house. Sometimes the AC blows in my ear and my ear gets hurt. My ear gets painful, so I keep this kind of around and I just keep my ear covered a little bit. So let's see. Oh yeah, I've had stuff on Redbubble for years. Back when I was doing more artwork, I was taking certain pieces of art and putting them on there for shirts and stuff. I still technically have a shop open, and every once once every 6 months, somebody will buy a bumper sticker, right? The top selling thing I have up there is a shirt from, do you guys remember Dr. Horrible? There was a line that Nathan Fillion had said, and tonight we'll do something with the hammer. The hammer will something, right? And he walks off screen and he comes back in and goes, just so we know that hammer is my penis, right? And they're like, yeah, we know what you're talking about. So I have a shirt and it's got a character like kind of doing a superhero pose, right? And then above it says the hammer is my penis. Top seller. My favorite is I had a drawing that I did of a zombie had pulled itself out of the ground and was sitting there, and across a little ways away there was a groundhog that had just come up out of the ground, and they're both just staring at each other. I thought that was hilarious. I wonder if it's still up. Redbubble. I don't know if it still has my login information here. Let's see. View shop. Oh yeah, so there's this one. The hammer is my penis. I aged out of Menudo. Childhood produced by Glenn A. Larson, because when I was a kid, he did a bunch of shows that I watched, and it was always at the end of the thing, it says produced by Glenn A. Larson. So I did this in like a Battlestar Galactica font. A friend of mine bought this one. It's supposed to be a play on sex, drugs, and rock and roll. It's pot, porn, and Planned Parenthood. So I thought that was pretty funny. It's also based off something else that was like, I forget. I'll have to get the information. I forgot what it was. Jesus Saves versus Damnation, and it's a 20-sided dice with a cross on it. Yeah, so this is the... I think you get a gist of the image up here. So that's the... It's supposed to be me as a zombie, and then the title of this is Appreciation. I thought that was hilarious for some reason. I think that's it. Oh, I have a Tron version, a Tron font one that says Alan 1. I have most of these. I bought them when I was skinnier, so they're all larges, so I can't wear them anymore. But yeah, Redbubble's always treated me nice. I went to them originally a long time ago because I was using, I can't even remember the other shop now. But it was one that was very, it was a big stickler for copyright. Like there were certain things that you couldn't put on the shirt to sell, and Redbubble at the time was very loose with it. So I went with them because I was doing a lot of things that were like the Glenn A. Larson thing I couldn't do. Zazzle, that was the other one. They wouldn't let me do that. So I was like, well, Redbubble looks pretty good. I wanted to do a series of the hobo drawings that I did somehow. I also had a president's shirt. So I did a cartoon version of... Yeah, nice. That's great. Keep it fresh. Do a lot of stuff like that. A lot of different sayings. I had a series of postcards. I was just drawing. I was just killing time one day at work, and I drew, basically, this was in the height of me drawing robots all the time. And I drew a president. I drew George Washington as like a steampunk kind of president. Like, what would it be like back in the day? And this was, I think, like even pre-steam train stuff, you know, the late 1700s. And, but I was like vacuum tubes. And so it was a little clockwork. It would be more apt to say it was a clockwork president. And then, so I was like, well, this is a cool series. So I kept doing it, and I did all the presidents. So I had a shirt that was like robot presidents. And then I had a series of robot Doctor Who's, which I still have. I haven't done Shooty yet, so I'll need to do that one. Oh my goodness, times 14, huh? So do you have sayings? Like, I don't know that I've noticed that you have like catchphrases and stuff. 7. So let's see what else is going on. Went to the Austin FC game last night, and it was a lot of fun because it was Pirate Day at Austin FC, because there's friends of ours in the supporter group, this guy and his brother, and they sit on the supporter groups on the south side, on the south ends. They sit on the north ends because they have tickets over there. They come over to the south side stands every once in a while and hang out with us, but their tickets are over there, so they'll go over there and watch the game, but they stand in their seats. And sometimes they have megaphones and they cheer and they do all the chants that we do, which is what the South End is supposed to do, is to get everybody involved, right? Everybody stand up, everybody do your cheers, but it's, it doesn't happen. Everybody goes to the game and they get their 4 expensive beers per game and get really drunk and belligerent and just sit there and be hoity-toity about the fact that they're at a football game, which I think is hilarious. There's a lot of drunk entitlement at these games sometimes, I feel like. Anyway, in the North End, that happened, and somebody complained, and so complained about these 2 guys who have had season tickets since the opening of the thing in the same spot. And so they had security come down, and normally I think security would be like, yeah, it's these guys, don't worry about it. But in this case, it must have been a new security person, because they're like, all right, let's go up to guest services. So they took them out of their seats and they took them to guest services, and they took their little plastic megaphones away, and they almost didn't let them go back to their seats. But the supporters section got a hold of the front office and basically was like, what the heck is going on? This guy is basically an institution in the supporter group. What are you doing? And may the brick be with you. I always say, that's right, you do say that, and keep on building. Yep, you're right. So anyway, they got led back to their seats. The whole Slack channel supporter group went crazy. So yesterday, everybody dressed, because these 2 guys dress as pirates a lot. The dude already has long hair, and he has like a white and green kilt that he wears. And he also has the vest like we all have with the patches on it. But he also has he does like a whole pirate thing. He's got long hair. He does face paint, has stuff in his hair. It's a great look. He's a super sweet guy. Like, he is the nicest dude. And very, very charming and very humble, and just, he's a wonderful human being. And his wife's really nice. They're both in theater. We went and saw their show, So anyway, because of that, yesterday was Pirate Day, so we all dressed, I think 5 people. My oldest went and got a bunch of eye patches, and Cheryl and Claire made up a giant patch that was like a skull with a rib cage and skeleton hands holding 2 cutlasses, and they had like the pirate hat on, and it was kind of looking up, and it was a giant black patch with white stitching. It was really awesome. And then Cheryl, she got a new white vest, or just her old white vest, and she took all the patches off, had that stitched onto the vest permanently, right? It was really great. So then we went to the north side, and in front of hospitality, where all the security people are, had a group picture taken, and it was the North End Pirates. So it was a lot of fun. So I'm sitting in the south side, and this guy comes over with one of the Q2 camera guys comes over, and he's like, oh, can we get a picture? And I'm like, yeah, you can. And Rowan my oldest had gotten a big tri-corner hat that her boyfriend was wearing. Their boyfriend was wearing, sorry. And after a while, he's like, it's a little warm. I think I'm just going to leave the hat in the car. And I'm like, oh, I'll wear that hat. So I put it on and wore it the whole game. So this guy came over and got a picture with us. And he's like, he was a Q2 guy, right? The stadium people. And he's like, that's super cool. I was like, yeah, it's Pirate Day. And he goes, yeah, you know why it's Pirate Day? And I'm like, oh, I know why it's Pirate Day. And he's like, okay, just making sure. It was pretty fun. And that, you know, it was a 2-2 tie and we didn't look great, but the whole idea of, you know, being there for the community and having fun and met a couple new people. The people in front of us that are usually there brought some friends of theirs, and I think they had a pretty good time. So, you know, my feet hurt when I come home. I can't talk. But it's a lot of fun. Got to support the team and support the person. I almost feel like, yeah, you mess with us. You mess with one of us, you mess with all of us. And if you mess with the supporter group, that's always in the South side. And to toot our own horn here, we played Charlotte FC. At the beginning of the game, we're all over at Hop Squad hanging out, and Cheryl's handing out patches to people. We're all chatting with their supporter group, you know, who'd come all this way. And they had a pretty sizable group of people come from North Carolina. And the supporter groups are great because they will assemble in places and generally be very cool to each other. I have yet to run into a group of people coming in from out of state where they aren't treated really well. I do know that when we go other places, we're not treated very well. So it's nice that we try to keep it very cool and civil for everybody. Because after the game, the same guy came up to us. He's like, thank you guys so much for like being, you know, hospitable, and it was really nice meeting you all. And you guys have the best supporter section, and we're taking notes about what we can do back home. And you guys have been all really great. We're like, cool. You know, that's the point of the supporter groups, is to support, not be jerks. So it was a lot of fun. We try really hard, like, you know, not buy drinks and stuff like that. Because when you're in the... Oh, I bet I know where that other piece went. I just saw this. No, it's just sticking out there. I thought maybe it would. But it doesn't. Okay. And that always feels good when they acknowledge that you've got a pretty good supporter group and it's a good group of people. You know, makes you feel good that you're doing the right thing. So it was a lot of fun. Because then, like, you know, during the game, we're all getting very competitive. But then after the game, you high five each other and give each other hugs and say, good, you know, safe travels. Hope you get home okay. That kind of thing. You don't want ill to befall them. You just don't want their team to win. Yeah, I know Frisco up in Dallas is not a very hospitable place. But we've had, I know when Portland comes out to play us, and I think when we go play Portland, those two supporter groups are very cool to each other. I think Seattle's okay. Houston and Dallas, I think mostly because their rivalries are generally not. I don't know about New York. We don't play them a whole lot. San Jose, I feel, is kind of a problem, but that may be changing. So, it's a different world. I keep trying to explain it to Beth, and she's not into sports, so she understands sports. She doesn't understand sometimes the culture. It doesn't, it doesn't make sense to her. She's like, I don't understand why you do that. So I can't get her to go to games with me because it's a little crazy and frenetic, and I know that the crowds are a bit much. That's kind of what I like about it. You kind of let it wash over you a little bit, the chaos, and it doesn't seem chaotic, but I'm also not somebody with anxiety who has limited social battery that you can deal with kind of thing. So I'm just like, yeah, let's do this. I need to go to other, just like I need to go to other Lego conventions to see how they handle things. I'd like to go to more, go with the travel group and go to other games, but I've got Lego I want to buy, man. That's the trade-off, is like, do I want to do this, or do I want to spend all my monthly paycheck on going to a travel game somewhere? A lot of people drive, a lot of people take flights that are super cheap. I'll flip this back over. And put this in here. I think this is all supposed to go down on the studs. Okay. All right, cool. Those are going to be extra. So in Lego news, what's going on? I looked up a couple things. A lot about Horizon lately, and how the articles are all, parents, don't be concerned. The Lego version is not going to be all that grown up and heavy, because the actual game, just like any other well done kind of AAA game, there's a story that may get a little deep in the feels kind of thing. And so the articles are all, you know, telling parents it's going to be a Lego game, you know, don't worry about it, it's going to be silly. The August 1st set should be coming out pretty soon, including the space buggy, which I'll try to get that. What other news items? And we had a couple other things that piqued my interest. Harry Potter Mandrake. Lady McBrick built this the other day, and it actually looked really cute. Like, it was very cool the way it would fold up kind of in the pot, and then when you pulled it out, its little arms and legs kind of fell or kind of sprung out a little bit. It was a neat little build. I wouldn't get it because it's Harry Potter, but it's a neat build. This dude did this stadium in Beaver Stadium in Penn State. Do you know where University Park, Pennsylvania is, Johnny? Penn State is called Beaver Stadium. I like how there's an article and there's no picture. That's the dumbest article. I guess CBS Pittsburgh. Prime Day stuff. Happy Valley. Oh, they got a video. I'm not going to watch the video. Show me a picture. I subscribed to a new channel. It's just the audio with this one picture. This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. All right, we're going to have to go look this up later. Anyway. There's a new stream. This guy's building a minifig sized Schlego bricks. This guy's got a giant stadium that he's building that's minifig scale stadium. And it's the Brick Hawks. And this isn't based off anything. This is just a stadium he's building that can go into like a Lego city or something. So that's really cool. So look up Schlego bricks. Give him some love. 191, not even 200 subscribers yet. And he's doing really good work. And he's posting about all the updates to it and everything. So check that out. think of what other news is going on. Nebraska's getting a Lego store. That's pretty cool. Prime Day's over. So there were some Prime deals, but that was now like 3 or 4 days ago. What's up, Greg? Ooh, we're going to do railing on this step, I can tell. So Beth and I are having this conversation that, or was it Beth? No, it was Rowan. I went over to their house before the game to get the back patch, and was hanging out with Rowan, and Rowan was pinning the patch on their jacket, and their boyfriend was there, and so we're talking, and Cheryl and Claire have this machine that was over there humming. I was like, is that a humidifier or a dehumidifier? And I don't think I got a straight answer about it, but I think it was a dehumidifier. Or no, a humidifier. Something else to help it be cool, right? And Rowan's like, yeah, I have to get another blanket to be in here. I'm like, isn't that weird that it's 100 degrees outside and yet you're cooling your house so much that you need a blanket? Why not just turn the AC off for a little bit and let the house heat up? We do that here too. Sometimes I'm like, oh God, I'm chilly. Just let the AC go to 75 instead of 73. You'll be fine. You sent a pic through Discord. All right. So did Johnny. Ah, gator? Is that a real gator? Where are you where you're seeing this giant gator? Oh, that's who that is. Let's see. I think I may have ruined something. Share stuff. In Orange, Texas, a real one? Nice. That's usually when I know I'm out of Texas. It's the Gators. You just pull it. They're like the very first rest stop you come to. You're like, oh, I'm going to stretch my legs. And the sign goes, don't go farther than this sign because there's Gators. You're like, all right. You got it. Hey. What, Aggie? Come here. Come here. You're gonna get in a little bit. As an ex-smoker, I feel a little cheated by the fact that I'm still coughing after like almost 10 years of not smoking or more. And I feel like if I'm going to keep coughing like this, I might as well just keep smoking. I know that's not how that works, but oh, so tired of coughing all the time. You want to go to Gator Country? Just go to Louisiana, man. They got them all over the place. The Tabasco place, and so they have like heron, a place where herons hang out. I don't even know what it's called. Not an aviary, but it's kind of out in the middle of a little bit of water. And then they've got a bunch of gators kind of hanging around the property. A lot of it's fenced off, so they can't get out. But some of it's not. And some of them, you get, little gators come up to you. And they're, that big. Maybe, a couple feet long. And you're like, all right, well, your teeth are still sharp, so I'm going to stay over here. They also have a Tibetan, or a monastery, or at least a shrine on the premises, too. And is the weirdest thing because it's covered in the biggest, blackest grasshoppers I don't even know if they're grasshoppers, but they look like grasshoppers. But they look like grasshoppers that have been working out with Terry Crews and painted jet black. They're just, these things are like this big, and they're like that, grasshoppers, right? Just big black, like, you know, you turn and you don't even see them. You're kind of walking down this path and everything's lovely. It's kind of swampy, a lot of trees, right? And you kind of go around the back end to where the stairs go up to the top of this little shrine. And as you turn the corner, it's just this wall of giant grasshoppers, and you're like, you know, you're like Kronk, you're like, just back into the, no, thank you. I don't mind bugs individually. I do not like swarms of bugs. I have nightmares about that. But the rest of the lot is lovely. And the explanation of why they chose that area to make Tabasco is fairly interesting. It's because it sits on a salt dome. And it's a great climate to grow peppers. So that's why, you know, and then they ship the vinegar in, and that's your ingredients: peppers, vinegar, and salt. That's Tabasco. So it's pretty cool. And then, you know, you go to the store and they've got all kinds of different Tabascos to eat or to test and taste. Did I do that right? Yeah. So it's fun. And of course the whole place smells like vinegar. You just can't help it. Where is this one piece? Où est la piece that je need? Get the other guys ready here. Yes, always bad. Some swarms of bugs, like swarms of gnats, I don't care about. You know, because they're little, but this was just like, and they hadn't even swarmed yet. They were just kind of sitting. Like, the potential for swarm is what got me. Like, ooh, no thank you. At any second, this could become a problem. All right. Yeah, there we go. I need 88 of these things. So this is going to take a hot second. Okay. Let's see. What else is there to talk about in the world of Lego? Or the world of anything. Deadpool Wolverine's coming out next week. Y'all gonna go see that? What do we do when we get up here? Let's get up here first and figure it out. Figure it out. This is going to be the repetitive part that I think Vab was talking about. Or video game stuff. Anybody doing any cool video games lately? I beat Forbidden West again yesterday, but I had to switch it to easy. So I think the first time I played it, I was on medium. And I just like the story. Like, I'm not in it to see if I can conquer ultra hard or anything like that. I just want a good story and be kind of entertained while I play. If it gets to be too hard, I get really frustrated and I don't want to play anymore. I can understand it being a challenge and like getting by the skin of your teeth and being like, wow, I almost didn't make it out of that one. That's fun for me. Repeatedly beating or attacking the same character or boss or whatever is not fun. Like, if I have to do it more than 5 times, I'm like, nope. Rocky Raccoon, what's happening? Thanks for being here. Happy Sunday. We're doing some rocket stuff. It's going to be a while. It's going to be a few streams till I think we get to the actual rocket portion. We're working on the base right now, and then I'm sure there'll be gantries, and I'm sure there'll be other things going on. There are 27 bags of this, so, and we're only on bag 9. So, but it's going pretty quick. The first few bags had like 5 pieces in them, so we blew through that. What are you working on? How's your day going? How's your weekend? Is it the same setup over on that one? Nope, it's a little different. Okay. Yeah, it's fun. So what I like, I think, the most part so far is even though you've built it up, these walls on the real structure all look like this. But they left it open a little bit so you could see some of the stuff inside, so it looks like a working, you know, it's got pipes and stairs and stuff in it. So, and it's pretty stable. For a while, you couldn't really pick it up because it wasn't put together all that well or all that strongly. But once you get these top plates on it, ties it all together. There's a couple things in here that were structurally a little weird while I was building it, but I like it so far. Weekend is good. Been just sorting all my parts in bins. That's what we do. Forever sorting. Almost pulled up my shirt, Forever Sorting shirt, but I have a different minifig within a minifig within a minifig. Torso on a torso on a torso. Hey dog. I hear you like torsos. Huh. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 5 is before that. Okay. I've got so much sorting. I'm kind of I know I keep saying this every stream, but my Lego room is getting to be like a critical mass. So 2, like something's gonna give eventually. I got too many projects that are just kind of hanging out. It's hard to do because I've flipped this around, so I want to make sure I've got it right. Dark, tan, and sand green ready for a mock. I'll tell you what, that's a great combination. Dark, tan, and sand green. After building the Capitol, I got so tired of sand green and tan that for a long while I was not keeping any sand green or tan pieces. Like, I was offering them up to other people in our lug. I'm like, do you guys want any of this? I don't. I'm tired of looking at it. I've got PTSD over these stupid colors. But this is because I've been, I was working with it for 2 years. But I think the color combination is tight. I think I think a lot of the sand colors. Somebody did a spaceship or something recently. I saw in like Eurobricks or Brothers Brick or something, where it was all the sand colors. They're like, I just did a spaceship with all the sand colors, and it looked really good. It's like, oh man, that looks great. So in terms of actual rocketry and sciencey stuff, I think this picks up here. That's odd. There's a gap. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. They did some test firing stuff. I haven't heard anything more about the astronauts in the ISS. I think they're still working on. I think Boeing and NASA are still test firing some stuff to make sure it's safe on the return vehicle. I haven't really heard anything new, any SpaceX stuff or anything like that yet. So status quo kind of thing, like nothing major. I bet if Vab were here, he'd be able to tell me all about it. I'm really worried I have to go to the doctor for my wrist. It still hurts. So I don't know if you can see how it's swollen right there. I fell on it about a month or so ago, and I was at work, and oh, there's a nice diagram here. I think I got it all right. And Beth was initially like, you should do workman's comp. I'm like, no, absolutely not. I will just say I fell at home, because workman's comp is just, it's not great. It takes so long, and half the time, whatever you need to happen is not covered, or, you know, you have to wait for certain things. And it's just, to wit, a coworker, his wife fell while she was at work. She's a teacher, and she fell walking down some stairs. She kind of rolled her ankle and broke her ankle. And she's, you know, my age. They filed workman's comp, and it's been kind of a nightmare. I'm guessing it goes there because I can't really tell. Maybe like that. I think that's better. And they just, you know, she needs to be able to at some point go back to work or be able to get around, and they've really dragged their feet on, you know, transportation and physical therapy, and like it's just been kind of a struggle. Then like 2 weeks later, he stumbled down their back steps and broke his ankle, but his is a minor break, so he's able to wear a boot. But because workman's comp is being such a putz about everything, he's having to do a lot of this work, and he's got a broken frickin' ankle. So the thought of like having to go to workman's comp for anything, I'm like, nope. I had to do that once before, and it was I hurt my shoulder working at UPS. I was a loader. I just one of those where you sit in a truck and they come off the belt onto these rolling pin things in the truck, and you just grab them off and make walls of, you know, boxes and stuff. And after a while of, you know, repetitive motion, my shoulder gave out. My shoulder's still never been the same. So because I couldn't lift, I went to the doctor, and he's like, yeah, you can't lift anything for a while. So I went back to my job, and I was like, so I went to the doctor. I need to file workman's comp because of this job, I hurt my shoulder. I hurt my shoulder on the job. And they're like, all right, well, we'll put you in a different place, and you can work on like small item repair or something like that. I was like, okay, this is, you know, it's not anything that you need to lift. But basically, it took a really long time to get any sort of doctor visits or physical therapy, and then UPS basically scheduled me out of my job. They wouldn't wait. So I was like, nope. So ever since then, I've had this like really crappy experience with it. I just don't like it. Also, I was a teenager, so I probably remember things a little differently, but a Lego rocket must be powered by the Lego way. Oh wait, a Lego rocket must be powered the Lego way, of course. The stacked rounded 1x2 plates inside the gas station in front of the rocket have a long Lego history. Okay, I guess that's what this must be, like the octane kind of symbol. I guess this is a little gas station. I have no idea what's going on with this, but okay. It's good to get a bunch of different colored parts of that, though. I just have a lot of dark gray and black and dark tan. So, Rocky, what's your mock going to be? What's your, speaking of those colors, are you at liberty to say, or is it a surprise? I'm really liking this new channel. The synthwave instead of the lo-fi. Give it a little bounce. Didn't see anything else major going on in Lego news world. Anything anybody else got interesting going on? I know Missy's on vacation. Johnny's getting ready for Brick Fair, Virginia. Are you building a mock for something specific, Rocky? Are you going to Brick Fair, Virginia? Are you going to Brick Slopes? I know that's another one that's pretty big right now. If this... Oh, man, you times two'd me. Yeah, well, I'll go back. Oh, Cobra Kai, the final season, question mark, started. It's Beth's favorite show. And, I have a hard time watching it. It's so bad. It's so, like, TV novella kind of thing. Excuse me. Right. Working on shirts right now, then going to get amazing root beer floats. Oh, man. So after this, we're going to go, our friends and I are going to go to Austin Beer Works. And I'm going to check out the space. We're going to get lunch and get a few brews. I'm going to check out the space because we've got an event there in a couple months. I want to make sure that I know how much space is there and what we can plan for. And then we're going to come back here and watch Deadpool, both Deadpools, to get ready for next weekend when we're going to... I tried to talk everybody into waiting until next weekend. Saturday, watch 2 of them, and then Sunday go to the new one, but I think it was downvoted. But yeah, so that's the plan today. You couldn't ever watch Cobra Kai? Did you try and you were like, oh god, this is dumb? There are parts that are kind of like so over the top, they're kind of laugh out loud fun. But then you're like, oh god, this is like, the acting is so bad. Like, I think there's a reason Ralph Macchio wasn't in much after Karate Kid, which is weird because he did a couple other things. He did like My Cousin Vinny and Crossroads and Mother Puss Bucket. Can we get that on there? Probably not. There we go. Yeah, it's there are a couple decent actors on it. LaRusso's wife is actually quite good. Everybody else is like a caricature. As long as you kind of lean into the fact that they're all characters and not like real people, like, you know, not even pretending like it's a real person thing, but just like, forgot to put this on there. Plus, it's the type of show that's predicated on absolutely every interaction goes the worst way. There's no honest communication between anybody, right? Everything that could be misunderstood will be misunderstood because they have to end it all in a fight, right? Yeah, that's the thing. If you can kind of lean into the fact that you know it's going to be kind of cringe, it's kind of fun. But I told Beth, I'm like, I reserve the right to ridicule the show mercilessly. She's like, no, it's fair. She loves it. Are they calling these gas stations, these little things? I don't know what those are. No, those are the sparkers. Aren't those the sparkers to ignite the fuel in the rocket? The SLS uses larger solid rocket boosters than NASA space. Larger solid rocket boosters than the NASA space shuttles. Liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen feed the RS-20 engines. RS-25 engines, which operate a higher thrust level and with new controllers. I mean, I'm hoping they have something newer than the 80s when the shuttles were out. Brick the System, hello. So Brick the System is our resident new project support designer for this year. He's the Mars-based guy. What is the city called? Spark something city? It was Coal something Shores or Shoals before. In the email I put insert name here because I think it was sort of like, if we come up with a better name, that's great. I think Spark, whatever city you had, was perfect. It was great. I'm excited to get started for that. Had a good turnout at the meeting yesterday, too. It was funny because at about 5 minutes... Yeah, I don't think anyone wants to change the name. I think it's a great name as is, but that's just me. About 5 minutes before the meeting started, there were like 8 people in the meeting. I was like, oh, perfect. I am like running low on energy. I'm going out to a game tonight. I kind of want to save my energy a little bit. We can breeze through this. I know we got a lot to talk about with project support and everything, so let's knock this out. And then like between 2 o'clock and 2:05, like 30 people showed up. And I'm like, oh my God, this is like legit an actual big meeting. Game face, baby. Yeah, I mean, it's not like people rolled in at 2:30. It was like 2 to 2:05 is when everybody showed up. It was funny. But still a good meeting. New people asking questions, current people wanting to be involved. It was very good. Had a lot of good discussions about Brick Rodeo and stuff, so... Been getting back into Lego after a few years, especially the YouTube side of Lego. Cool. Do you want to do like streaming or videos, or you just like the community and following along with people? Who are some of your the channels that you like so far? This one, I hope. I will say this one's slightly different from most YouTube channels. I think Johnny and I and Vab. There's a couple of, like Chip Off the Old Block is a single stream, solo streamer. I don't visit his all that much. Everybody else does like panels. Like they have people on and they all chat and everything. And then there's the regular, not live stream videos that are, you know, here's my latest update to my city, or I'm a RFLM and I was tasked with promoting these sets. So here's the sets. And honestly, if you're gonna watch any of those, the only one that I would recommend, there's 2 I would recommend for that, the review channels. The first one being Josh Builds Stuff. He is I think he's an RFLM. But his video quality is by far the best out of everybody. It's creative, it's well done, it's funny. Okay, so this is not going into anything. I think you're supposed to hold it there until the next step, which is, yes, building something to go on top of it. The second would be Jang's Bricks. Only because he buys all those sets himself. He's not an online community, I don't think anymore. Maybe he was at one point, but I appreciate somebody who is buying their own stuff and still making quality review videos about it. Which means his videos won't be the day of when that one set that everybody's expecting to come out and 70 people put out a video saying how much they like the set. And he goes into pretty good detail about why it's good. And he's kind of an institution. So those two will be great. Plus, he's got a super soothing voice. But yeah, Josh Builds stuff is really good. He's also a local guy here. He's about 10 minutes away from me up in Round Rock. Ganache Bricks is a parody channel. That's awesome. I'll have to check that out. Okay. Oh, right in there. Bloop. All right. Okay. Well, this is going to be weird. Yep, knew that was going to happen. They should do this step before you do the railing, because you got to pick the thing up. Okay. Hopefully that's all we have to do. Because, see, that's... all that railing comes off in your hands. I have no idea where I lost it. Oh man, come on. I've got the Clone Walker, the tank, bunch of custom decal 2020 clone troopers, still no idea what planet to build set. Clone Walker, the ATTE, the tank. The tank is the turbo tank, the Juggernaut. Bunch of custom decal 2020 clone troopers. Maybe, so I feel Umbara is an underrepresented. I think everybody wants to do Felucia because it's brightly colored, but I think Umbara would be a great challenge, especially if you wanted to light it, because you could do very, very dark Lego, but have it like subtle purple lights on it to make it kind of all glow. I think that would be super. I tried to recreate it for, I had an Umbaran tank, the insectoid walker tank thing, and I don't think I did it justice. Yeah, that's open. Okay, cool. Because it's black with like glowy red and purple stuff, and it's a cool planet. Much more convenient now since last time I was into Lego as a kid. Now I work, I can pick. Yep. The disposable income generation of Lego people. That's why there's a dark age, because you get to a certain age where your parents aren't buying you stuff anymore, and you have to make a choice about what you want to buy. And we all hit that age where we're like, but I want to go out with this boy, girl, whatever, and I want to take them out on dates, or now I have to pay for gas in my car, or you know, that kind of stuff. And so you're like, I can't afford Lego right now. I want to. So peer pressure of thinking Lego is a kid's toy, also financial, you know, reasons why you can't afford it anymore. And then you hit your mid 30s, and if you got a okay job, you're like, you know what? It's time to get back into that. And then you go crazy, and your dark ages are over. My dark ages ended when they announced. I was already starting to kind of go back through. I'd moved out of Colorado. I'd moved to Texas. Had first house that wasn't a duplex, so we had a little more room. I had like a computer / art / office room, and I had all these shelves. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna pull some of my old Lego out and put it up in this. So I started going through some old tubs that I brought back from Colorado. It had Lego in it, and it was all. It was all like Ice Planet and M-Tron and Futron, that kind of like late 80s, early 90s kind of era of space stuff. Started putting UFO, started putting all them back together. And as I was getting to a point where I was like, this is pretty rad. Hadn't done really any mocks or anything yet as an adult. But it was right then in 99 when it was announced actually shortly before that it was announced. It's like 98 that we even found out that Lucasfilm was going to start partnering with Lego. This is right before Phantom Menace came out. We're all like, what? So then I got all those. It started me buying all the Star Wars Lego. So that's how. Glenn, what's up, buddy? How's it going? Would never choose women over Lego. You're lying. No, I'm just kidding. We all think that, but at the same time, I wouldn't now. Like, I would 100% pick Beth over everything, but except for maybe my kids. But yeah, if you're dating and someone goes, you're on some dates early and somebody gives you, guff about your Lego hobby, I'd be like, well, that's not the one for me then. I think when Beth and I started dating, she really didn't understand the depths of the problem that I have. Because at the time I had, everything was kind of packed away. She really didn't see it. And then we moved into this house and it just went. Of course, I built the Capitol in the old house and she was like, never again. Please don't do that. I think I got back into it after that plain white Clone Trooper Battle Pack came out. I know a lot of people got into it to like kind of army build and get a lot of minifigures and stuff. Minifigures are a huge draw, man. There's a reason Lego is okay with you printing stuff on a tile or a brick, but will not let you print on a minifig. It's their bread and butter. It's what personalizes and humanizes the toy. Because what good's a spaceship if you don't have a pilot? All right, times 2. See if we can remember this. Star Wars ended yours too, yeah. I mean, so Star Wars got me buying again, but I was kind of like maybe a year before I was still resurrecting what Lego I had, and I don't know that I had plans to do anything except like rebuild what I had. So I don't know if that's, I think just being able to have a space to do it in, really, because I want to credit when Star Wars came back out, but I think it was just I have a little bit of shelf space that I can put up my old models. So it was kind of like I'm a grown-up now and I can do whatever the heck I want. Mentality versus just Star Wars. Star Wars definitely got me buying more stuff for sure. And I bought everything when that first came out. Man, that first run of Star Wars sets, first of all, they were terrible. But I bought them all. The early Star Wars sets felt like poorly rendered PS2 graphic versions of Star Wars ships. They just weren't... They were very much rushed to get out, to get into shelves by the time the movie came out. Okay. Nice. Got back into with the UCS sets, yeah. Yeah, for sure. Got the X-Wing, the TIE Interceptor, and the Tana V4, like, right off the bat. Which, at the time, I mean, I wasn't flush or anything, but I was making okay money. My wife was making okay money, but we had 2 brand new kids. 1 brand new kid at the time. And house payments and car payments and stuff like that. So it wasn't like we were rolling in it. So a $250, $300 buy was a pretty big deal. Okay, just sits there like that. I appreciate more and more when Lego's like, this doesn't have to sit and click on a stud. It's just, gravity's going to keep it there. It's fine. I'm like, all right. Cool, cool, cool. Now I live with my grandparents. I got the whole garage for myself for Lego. Nice. You gotta be careful. Where in the country are you? Or where in the world are you? Because Lego in the garage is not a great thing in Texas. It gets too hot. And I have to probably now move all of our our play brick. Our Lugs play brick is in the garage for a while. And it's been there for about a year, but it hasn't been real hot in the past year. So I think I'm going to move it out of there now that it's going to be warm for the next few months. Keep it inside. It's just not good for the brick in general. But I know some people are like, I've had it in my attic for years and I've had no problem. So. Oh, you're in Liverpool. Cool. Have you been on the channel before? Have you chatted with us previously? I feel like I would have remembered that, but I know Beth and I, my wife Beth, and I have been trying to save up for a trip to the UK, and she wants to go to Liverpool because she's a huge Beatles fan. I don't care where we go. We want to see panel shows while we're out there, or see some of our favorite comedians if they're touring in the area. I want to go see a Lady Arsenal game, not the men's team. I just want to see a Lady Arsenal team because I want to see if I can get a Katie McCabe jersey. And then the rest of the time we just kind of want to hang out and see stuff, you know. It makes it so warm and cozy, yeah. I guess I'm evidence fan media pays for itself. Oh, okay. You watched a YouTube video about something and started buying more Lego? She'd love the Beatles bus tour at the docks. Beth! Beth! She may have gone to bed. She sleeps a lot. Yeah, we'll look that up. We haven't really, I've only got a couple like itinerary things in mind. Like where we might stay and stuff like that. So yeah, we'll add that to the list. We're also Doctor Who fans, so we're like, let's go to Cardiff. Can we go to Cardiff? And she's like, what do we do when we're there? Is there like a Doctor Who or Torchwood thing out there? I'm like, oh, I don't know. I just want to go stand in front of whatever that maritime museum thing is and get a picture. That's it. So yeah, we're excited if we can continue to save and do things the right way. Before then, we'll get out there. October of 26 is what we're planning. I will not make her go to the Lego store while we're out there. The Hard Day's Night Hotel. Oh my lord. Oh, probably have to tell her it's there. Now that I have that knowledge, I can't not share the knowledge. We're just going to stay at some place called the Black Canary in London. Because it looked like a pretty good hotel and it wasn't that expensive. And it was kind of mid-center point to some stuff. And then I think the idea is to take about 10 days, maybe 2 weeks. That way we can spend 3 or 4 days in each location and we'll just slowly work our way up. And I think we'll end up in Edinburgh. And hopefully there's some sort of festival going on. I know that Edinburgh's pretty lousy with festivals for the most part. So we'll see. Well, you know what? We're going to end up there in a couple years. I will definitely let you know, and you'll have to buy us a pint. Or we'll buy you a pint for recommending a great pub. Because she's not a huge beer drinker, but she does like ciders and wine and some beer, right? Some sours and stuff. So anytime we go to a place, she's like, I'll have this or whatever. So we'll have to talk her into getting some beers. But she was like, I don't know, I just want to go hang out at a pub. I'm like, oh, really? That's all I want to do. Ooh. I like this piece a lot. I think the first time I saw this piece was in dark blue and it was on Dragon Wings. It was like a 3-in-1 set back a while ago. She wants to go see a Leeds football game because one of her favorite comedians is a Leeds fan. I'm like, that's a dumb reason to go to a football game. But she wanted to go to a football game, and I'm not going to say no to that. But the other thing is, I got to start looking now for like Lady Arsenal tickets because I think they're really hard to get unless you're a season ticket holder. I'm sure they've got day of tickets. I just have to find it. I have black of those curve pieces. Oh, nice. I bet those are slick. How's that Baradur set coming along? I realize I've asked since I've been missing all your streams. Everybody, Johnny Builds, if you haven't subscribed, go subscribe to Johnny Builds. He does the same thing I do. We both do like, hey, I got this cool set and I'm building it. Or I'm working on this new mock for this thing. So come help me, you know, pick pieces for it and watch me work on it and chat. And he's working on Baradur right now. Well, Lady Arsenal tickets, not the men's team. But I think either Arsenal team is going to be hard to get. Lady Arsenal even was like, it's still selling quite well. Last game I watched, it looked like a full house. So, but it's either that or go try to time it so I can go to Ireland to watch the Irish women's national team play, because that's the only reason I want to go. And it's be harder to get Beth to go out there if we're already just spending 2 weeks in and around London and north of London. So yeah, he's working on that giant Hoth thing. That's gonna be great. So starting soon, I'm still gonna be, I think I may have to work on a little of this off stream, and the next stream. Yeah, agreed. Super huge fan base. I agree. And I'm super happy about that. I want to get back into designing the Q2 stadium. So doing some more studio work on that. I may alternate streams a little bit if y'all are okay with that. Because I really do want to get back into that. I feel like I've let myself down by not working on it as much because I kind of want to get it out of my head. And seeing that other guy's stream with doing his stadium kind of rejuvenated that desire. Plus, I need to know how to spend time doing it on my own and not forcing it onto a stream. I need to be able to do it like just whenever. Our Lego store isn't that bad either. I really only go for the pick-a-brick wall. I think a lot of us do anymore. We can get the sets online or Amazon or Target or something. We don't really need to go for the sets unless there's like... And they used to have store exclusives, but they don't anymore. And now our lug doesn't even get AFOL days at the store anymore. So it's kind of like... I'd rather not fight the lines on release day. I'll just go if they've got some special event. Sometimes they've got a build event or something. But I'll just order whatever set I get at 11 o'clock at night the night before, or midnight. And it'll be here in a couple days. I don't review sets or anything. This is just for me. Doesn't matter when I build it. I'm getting so stuffed right now. Ooh. Launchpad. Hello, Launchpad. How are you? Is this Zach? Y'all, Launchpad is a rad channel where you can go watch almost all the events of space rocketry launches, space exploration, all that kind of jazz. If you're really into that, I would highly recommend it. They do a lot of live stuff, and not just like just the launches. There's always kind of like there's a press conference where they're talking about doing this, or here's your test rocket or test engine test for the day, or stuff like that. So I would give them a sub. They got a Discord channel. Check them out. It's pretty rad. So how are you doing? Thanks for coming by. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's I don't know if you can tell, we're on bag 12. So we're about half done, a little less than half done. There's 27 bags. We're starting on the gantry right now, right? This is just the base of the platform. They've already talked about how this is usually walled off, but they wanted to kind of open it up so you could see some detail in there, piping and whatnot. We've got the trench opening done. We've got what I think are the sparkers. Either these are the sparkers or the water tanks. And it might be the water tanks. I'm not sure. Because I think the sparkers would actually be over here to ignite the solid rocket boosters. So these may be the water tanks to flush it once it's launched. I don't know. They didn't describe it really well. There's usually a guy in here named Vab Workshop who does. You guys need to hook up. You, Launchpad, and Vab need to hook up. Vab does. Look up his channel. It's Vab Workshop. He has built just about every rocket out of Lego, and he currently is working on improving all kinds of stuff. He has taken these to shows. He's very, very knowledgeable about rocketry and stuff. I think at one point he worked, I want to say he maybe not worked for NASA, but was involved. Like, I forget what his history is, but I wish you could say it gets faster. Oh, yeah, I'm waiting for the repetitiveness of the tower. Like, I've seen it, you know. I've built the Coliseum. I'm here for repetitive stuff. It's fine. I know the dangers. Ground umbilical units. Those are a leaking problem for the Artemis 1. I believe the water jets are very close. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, so these are just like the electrical units for like last minute communication and stuff. I don't know what the umbilicals are for. Welcome back, Johnny. Johnny is also a fellow builder. Does kind of similar stuff. He's working on Barradur right now. Yeah, everybody, the AFOL days are done for the time being. And we're all kind of a little bit, these are 4Ls, taken aback because we're like, there's basically 3 programs that lugs get. They get lug bulk, they get project support, and they get AFOL days. And they took the AFOL days away, and we're like, so meanwhile, we're onboarding all these other fan media channels. We're like, okay. Electric and fuel, basically everything except a little bit they send up to the tower. Cool. That's great to know. Thank you. Always like knowing a little more about rocketry. I don't know if you can tell, huge Lego space fan and space fan in general. That's one thing I wish I would have held on to since being a kid, was all my shuttle patches. Now that I actually am back into patches, I wish I would have kept all my shuttle patches. I had one for almost every launch. There was a program you could sign up for to get the patches for each launch. So I was getting those. The closest I was able to get was like tours of Kennedy, and then as our Boy Scout troop went to Martin Marietta and got a tour. And while they were actually refitting, was it Endeavor? No, it may have been Columbia, which is ironic. I think they were doing Columbia's heat tiles at the time, but I was a kid. This was years and years and years before. So if I catch you when you're live building the SLS, there's a huge goof. You know what? I think I've heard about that, but yeah, if you're on I'm here usually Sundays at 10 a.m. and Thursdays at 8 p.m. So yeah, if you catch me while I'm in the middle, because this is going to be another couple weeks, easy. Make sure it flags it. Make sure you come in and say, up, 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 up. I'll probably run into it and go, what? What is this? Being a lug is all about the people. Yep. Almost no reason to be a lug, really. I mean, Project Sport and Lug Bolt is great. Few and far between. Also, unless you do that every time, that specifically is not worth it. But it is about the group of people that you're with and doing events to get more people to kind of be part of your group. That's, to me, that's the reason. To come together and say, hey, look at this cool thing that I built. Let's go share this with these kids at the library, or let's go do this thing at this comic book store, blah, blah, blah. Broke mine up into a couple week to build. Currently working on not Lego Cybertruck. Cool. Oh, okay. So that Josh Builds Stuff channel, I think he had a Cybertruck build that was, it's not even like Mecha Brick or anything like that, or Mega Block. It's like this company that just kind of did it. They like 3D printed everything. It's their own stuff. And that, I feel like that's the only thing they did was the Cybertruck, if I remember. But this was a while ago too. How about almost no reason to be a group recognized by Lego? That's true. I feel that sometimes as well. Because I agree, Johnny. Is it Johnny who said that? Yeah, they want us to do... Ideally, and this is just, there's one guy... This is coming from one guy who's doing this. Launchpad, this is going to get crunchy about lug involvement and stuff lately, but... a recent visit with one of the guys who used to be like the community brand manager kind of thing was very much, we're doing everything we can for you guys right now. We need you to like have 7 conventions a year with 10,000 people basically. And we're like, but we can't afford to do that. It's hard enough to do one, and it's not even really us. It's the, whatever. This says to twist this, to push this in a little bit. So I guess, I don't know how much. That much? Sure. I guess I'll figure out once I get it on here. I don't want to disparage too much because I don't want to bite the hand that feeds me, really, but I do see some of the drawbacks, and I'm hoping this new guy can step in and like, he really wants the 3 groups, the convention side, the lug side, and the RFLM side to kind of coexist and work well together, and kind of feed into each other a little bit with their strengths. So we'll see how it goes. I don't know. Ogasami Brickworks, what's up? Yeah, doing well, man. Missed you at the meeting. Yeah, what they want to see, and we tried to encourage this with everybody who went to Brick Rodeo, is that what they want to happen, and I don't know how to show numbers for this, but going to Launchpad, we have a giant convention here in Austin that we put on, Austin and Houston, Brick Rodeo. But it's not the biggest convention. It's maybe the 9th biggest convention. I still think we're doing very well for the growth that we've got. And I think our swag bag was probably the best of the year. So anyway, but what they want to happen is they want us to report a big event like this and then see a jump in sales at the local Lego store. That's what they want. So we're always trying to get people to like, hey, if you like this, we know we have vendors here, but we also have a Lego store. We're Barton Creek. If you can't get anything today, make sure within the next week, go buy yourself something. So It was a pretty good meeting, man. Like at the last second, we got a ton of people showing up, so it was pretty good. All right, we were on bag 13, and how much time we got left? We got about 20 minutes left. Yeah, it'll be in Sugarland next year, 2025 in Sugarland, 2026 back here in Austin. Maybe at the Renaissance Hotel, lower level, maybe at the Kalahari. We're not really sure. That hasn't been decided yet. We're still kind of, I don't want to say post-coital, but we're post after the big event. And everybody's taking a break and relaxing and trying to recoup. Still some stuff to work on. But yeah, so look for those. And there's other giant shows. Brick for Virginia's coming up. Brick Slopes out in Salt Lake earlier. And then like at the beginning of the year, I think Brick Can is the beginning of the year. Bricks by the Bay, I think, is early next. So there's just lots of shows. Yeah, it is hard to track. They can see though that when we report when our event is, because as there's an ambassador for the A&E for the group, and they'll report when our event was, and then they can just go track the store and see if there's a jump in sales overall. But yeah, without any kind of like, and that's not there's no working between the store and the event. Lego will not, kind of out of frame here a little bit. I may have to start raising the camera up so you can see how the structure is going. So I can do that real quick. Oh, there we go. We do try to do coupon codes for the fan media groups that come out so we can track those kinds of things. So that we know that they're being, their membership, because they always kind of say, hey, I have 3 million subscribers. It's like, great, here's a coupon code. Let's see if any of those people will actually show up. Kind of thing, you know. So you do want to track that. Florida. No. Offhand, I don't. I'm trying to think of a convention that I've heard. There is a website you can go to that tracks or that looks up, hey, more of these. I like these pieces. That will keep track of like what conventions happen throughout the year. And I don't recall seeing one in Florida. Good. That's awesome. That's what we like to hear. Anecdotally, though, yeah. The Lego store is oddly like, it's not even Lego corporate. Like, Lego brand retailers are their own thing, kind of outside Lego. There's like the Lego group, then there's the Lego stores, then then like Lego community membership kind of stuff that is like the people who work as a liaison between those two groups. Then there's like Legoland, Lego Discoveries are different animals. Then there's like the Lug people, or like the Land people, which is all kind of their own thing. So it gets a little spread out, and sometimes the two entities or the 3 or 4 entities don't always interact. But the Lego store, we never have the Lego store nobody has a Lego store at a convention. They just don't do that. But we'll have a Bricks and Minifigs, because those are Lego certified resellers. So we'll get, most conventions will have a Bricks and Minifigs. We're going to have a third Bricks and Minifigs opening up out in BK or Westlake. Crazy. I feel bad because that couple that keeps coming in going, well, we almost have a property. We're very close to signing a lease. And meanwhile, another one just pops up and goes, hey, we're here. It's like, oh, man. Hope that doesn't take business away from y'all, but that's going to take business away from y'all. So yeah, Sunday or Thursday, we'll probably be building this again, but I think maybe next Sunday, I'll take a pause if we're not done on this. And I'll probably work on either the stadium a little bit, the Q2 stadium, or flip back to doing some Horizon stuff. I want to keep going on that because I know it's only a year, but I don't know that I'll take another. I don't know what I'm going to take out to Houston. It may just be my Steampunk City contribution, if anything. So I may take a pause on the rocket thing for like a hot second just to be able to get some of that other stuff done. Erp. I'm digging this new playlist. I hope you guys are liking it. I know you probably can't hear it all that much, but I'm liking the synth wave a little better than the lo-fi jams. So Launchpad, what's the next giant event we got coming up? Oh, if y'all didn't know, yesterday was the 55th anniversary of the lunar landing. I don't know if it was the 55th anniversary of the launch or the landing itself, which means the launch was like 3-4 days ago or something like that. I remember 5 years ago for the 50th anniversary, they did a whole thing where you could follow along. They, meaning I forget who, was it NASA, was it somebody else? But you could follow along as if it were happening again. So you could watch the launch in real time. They replayed video where you could watch the launch and then follow along as the module and the is the LEM and the I forget the two different modules now, but on their trek to the moon, and then the landing, and then while they're on the moon, and then coming back. So they had a whole thing, and it literally took a couple weeks, right? I would wake up and just kind of have it on while I was working, just monitoring, you know, and it had like even transcripts of the communications, like you could hear the audio, and it was super fun. Like it was such a, I don't want to say a good waste of time, but it was so fun to just kind of like sit there and listen to the old communications, and I had a great time. I hope they do that again soon. So yeah, happy whatever anniversary. 55th. Ooh, you know what movie I want to see? It's I don't remember the title of the movie, but it's got Channing Tatum and Scarlett Johansson, and it's a movie about them getting ready for the Apollo 11 launch. And I think it's a tongue-in-cheek kind of thing where they're like, you know, if this doesn't go right, we're going to have to do something. And them talking about filming a backup for it, which I think is hilarious. I don't actually think it was faked, but I think them leaning in, I think them lampshading it like that, where they're like, okay, fine. Yeah, we filmed the thing, whatever. I think that's just genius. Yeah, it's cool. Like, it was a lot of fun. I do not know how this... because I think it was kind of leaning into it a little bit. I think they're like, all right, fine. You think we did? Sure. Here, you know, whatever. I think it's all very tongue-in-cheek. It feels kind of like the same type of movie as Look Up, where it's very much... the world is ending, but people don't really notice because they're not paying attention to the scientists. And the scientists are like, we're trying to tell you guys. And they're like, yeah, you guys are fearmongers and whatever. I think that's hilarious. To me, anyway. I don't know. It was harder to fake the moon landing to actually land on the moon based on the... Yeah. Yeah, the camera technology just wasn't available back then. Times 4. Ah, why didn't you tell me ahead of time? Oh, really? They shut down operations for it? I can see NASA saying, well, it's definitely money that'll help with some, what's the word I'm looking for? Because they're always looking for funding. So it's possible they're like, yeah, this could help with some operating expenses for sure. Excuse me, I'm very burpy. Sparked a small war inside the... I do not understand people like that. I just... Ugh. I don't want to get into it on this channel, but I think it's hilarious that people think that. Sorry, let me clarify that it was faked. I think it's hilarious that people think that was faked. I also think flat earthers are hilarious. You know, that knowledge and technology that we've had for... who's the guy that walked between the two places? I can see Carl Sagan talking about where he has the two plinths on a map and he bends the map. But I can't remember who that was. Not Pythagoras, not... I don't even know. Like, I'm just going to make up Greek names at this point. Euripides. Euripides, Eubiades. Anyway. Yeah, that always cracked me up. I'm like, really? We've only known that for like 3,000 years. But yeah, sure, you're smarter than everybody else. Press site, launch control, parking lots were filled. Wow. Yeah, true. And I haven't watched any Russia and China launches. They don't really advertise them a whole lot, but I've seen news about what they've been doing. I feel so bad for the Japanese one that looked like it was going to be such a success, and then the clink just tipped over. It's like, well, it technically made it, and it still works, but it's just kind of on its side now. Ooh, that's a little funky. Yeah, they would fake it for propaganda reasons. Meanwhile, like India and, I think maybe just India, are like, look, we're really trying over here. Okay, where does this guy go? He goes EC. That didn't feel right. Did I miss a whole... Oh. Nope, didn't miss anything. Butte. Coming together. Really liking it. We'll finish this bag up and then we'll call it. Even if I got a little more than 10 minutes left in this bag, we'll just finish the bag out. So if you want to hang out a little past noon, that's cool. Oh, really? Mine looked okay. I think mine was all right. The gods must be crazy. God, I haven't thought about that movie in forever. What a great movie that was. That's one of those like seminal of its time movies where you come out of it, like we saw it in the theater, And I was like, there has been no movie made like this. This is such a unique film. Like there's nothing that's been done like this. It's so crazy. What a joyous movie. Here's your part, James. Here's your cool part that... So James came up with this idea for, and I can't remember which piece. I want to show you this, guys, real quick. This is really rad. So this is the piece, this universal joint. I don't want to update right now. No! Oh, dang it. I don't want to do that. Wanted to hit no, and I said yes. This doesn't take long, hopefully. For one of the Horizon Zero Dawn machines, the Rock Breaker, the one that I actually... The only one that I didn't finish. This was a rad technique. Come on. Oh, Launchpad. I want to show you our Mars base. I didn't share this on the Discord. Let me share it on the Discord, but I'll give you a sneak peek in a second. So we had a collaborative build at our recent giant convention that everybody built like a single plate with like a Mars habitat on it. And it was like giant. Like everybody brought theirs together and it was this huge thing. It was really, really rad. I think you'd like it. But I wanted to show y'all. So this is the Rock Breaker. This technique, I'm going to try to do this without my keyboard here. So give me, nope, can't. Keystrokes just don't work without the keyboard. So there's these chains that I wanted to attach. So if you get a chain piece, it will attach to this little disc inside here. You can take one of these off and attach the chain link here. And it'll give you a little bit of rotation right here. And the chain can still go up and down. So it's a little flexible. That was James came up with that technique. And it's freaking genius. So I can't wait to actually build this guy. It's almost done, I think. I think I just have to kind of figure out the neck. And then I need to build it. This is the one that didn't get done in time for Brick Rodeo. So... So yeah, real quick, if I can, I'm going to show Launchpad the Mars base. Trying to see, which was the best view? Was it, did Brick Rodeo actually have one? Or was it Bart? So this was the Mars base. So the basic, we had a couple basic modules that everybody built. And then like these modules right here were the basic modules. And then everybody could like build their own to attach to it. Oh, yeah, this is just promo stuff for it. Anyway, let's see if I can get a better, I think I had one. Did I have one? I don't even think I took a picture of it myself. I didn't. I did a TikTok of it. Textlug, maybe? Yeah, so here's a good shot of the whole thing. And it's... So these two items over here on the one side, this is James' Martian obelisk. This, I don't know how many pieces this was. 5,000, 10,000 pieces. And it's made of these little, the home plate shields, like 8,000 of those gold plate shields. And then this is Brian Costello. Brian Costello actually works for NASA, or worked for NASA. I don't know if he still does. He moved from Houston. So he was already building this dome, so he just kind of put some stuff inside it. So the idea was everybody gets one of these little, like, it's the old moon base design, classic space design from like years and years ago. I just changed the colors and added new parts. So everybody was able to get like a plate to put it on, a basic habitat, and then if you wanted a couple odds and ends, and then I made it so everybody could kind of connect them. So it ended up being 3,300 of the gold plates. Yeah, this thing was massive. And there were a couple people who brought some that it didn't quite make it into this because we got a nice square going. So we're like, I think we're done. This section right here is a little bit unfortunate. The young man spent a lot of time doing this, and it was supposed to be a giant antenna, and he just didn't get it finished, but he wanted to be on hand to display it, so that's what we got. And then I think, yeah, so there's a couple other shots. So that's the dome with the stuff, and then we've got the Martian architecture here. It was really great. We had like almost 30 participants coming together to build it. And it was really awesome. It turned out really well. So this same project now we're going to be doing next year. We'll be doing a steampunk city, a flooded steampunk city like Venice, but with steampunk. Thanks, Raccoon. Thanks, Rocky. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I think it turned out well. Some of the parts were, or some of the building stuff was a little questionable, but that was my fault, and we had limited piece counts that we could work with, but I think it all came together, and I think it was a big hit. And people could see it that didn't have tickets to the event. So hopefully the idea was they see that and go, this is rad. What else is in there? I want to buy a ticket. Get me in there. And of course they go in and they see, you know, the Elizabeth Tower and the 93 person collaborative mosaic and a ton of other really great things. So it's really cool. So a lot of the idea I got from Happy Valley, from For All Mankind, that kind of look, right? Orange landscape, white domes. And I kind of wanted to do, and this was something that was in my head, where you have kind of the older section, and we could have like tan and white, so it looked a little more older, or like almost a lavender, like sand red, if we could got sand red, so it looked like it had been there a while. And then some of the newer areas were whiter. Those are the newer modules that were added, but it was that same sort of just, you know, basic kind of, this gets done every time we bring up the same stuff, and then because over time people add to it and whatever. It was a lot of fun. I had a again, I'm gonna pull this up and see if I actually took a picture of it. I don't think I did. But I had the lander from, yeah, so this is me working on, I didn't actually take a picture of the lander. But the lander, I got the idea from For All Mankind, the shuttle that goes between like the ship and Happy Valley was directly from that. Like I was watching the show while I was building it. So it was a lot of fun. And I think it hit at just the right time because Lego, we started the Mars-based project right about now last year. Actually a couple months ago. So it was like 14 months ago. You have to put in an application, you have to have an idea all ready to go, and your group has to kind of like be ready to buy all the Lego and put in the app and get ready to go like right away. So we put in an app and I kind of rushed the design a little bit, but it got done and it's fine. But then later in the year, okay, I'll look up, let me see if I can get Bart. Maybe it was Bart just specifically. Maybe he put it on. He also did all the socials for Brick Rodeo, so I don't know where he put it. It's fine. So after we started building it and all the parts came in, we started putting it together. Late last year, early this year, Lego went full insanity on space themes, everything. We got like early city sets that were like, this is the rocket maintenance factory, and this is a lunar base. Like there were 3 Artemis sets, right? There was a lander and a rover and a lunar base. And then after that, like Friends sets got space themed. All the city sets got space themed. We got this set, got the SLS. We're getting the lunar buggy from Apollo. Like they went heavily on it. So it hit right as we were promoting this, and it was going to be it worked out so well. So we're all very proud of that. Because in my wildest expectations, I didn't think it was going to look that cool. And I owe a lot of that to like James and Brian did amazing work with their models. We had a guy up in Dallas who his crew did this really great 6 or so base plate sized, just massive base part that was like built into like the ground. Like a mountain kind of came up, and you could see on the inside of it all the stuff underground and everything, and just so great. That's what I like about working with lugs right there. That kind of thing where you can have this massive project come together. And it looks really awesome. ×3. Yeah, so we're a little after the top of the hour. I know I usually stop right about now, but I want to get the rest of this bag done, and then we'll call it quits. And we'll pick it up on Thursday. Did Overwatch get a rocket set? Was it part of the last year's theme? I made the joke that even Pirates got a space set. When in reality, I think it was Technic, City, and Friends basically got it. I don't know that anybody else really got. There was a 3-in-1 astronaut too, the 3-in-1 astronaut creator series. That's gonna be a fun one too. I can't wait to do that one. And I think I might do the space dog. Sorry, puppy. I mean, look at that guy. Who doesn't want to do space dog? Look at how cute he is. But yeah, that's the astronaut. We'll do the astronaut sometime. I scared my dog. She's run off. Sorry, puppy. Oh. Yep, pretty good coincidence. There's that. Oh, and the collab thread. Okay. Let's take a look. I'm afraid to open Discord. It has a funky bit about taking my camera. Oh man, look at that. That is pretty rad. Yeah, I wish that was a little bigger, but you get... So this is Frankie's flea market over here. It was really awesome. Yeah, this thing was just huge. Here's a couple that Missy got. The dome, kind of how large it was. This is this big corner Ryan and his crew did. Kind of underground stuff. There's James's tower again. And it had like a bunch of Martians around it and a bunch of people, like astronauts studying the Martian stuff. It was really great. There's another photo there. There's a video of Josh. Josh always has a video of him breaking something. Yeah, this is how we were all packing it. This is somebody's like individual. That's their contribution, their individual contribution. It was a lot of fun. The map we had trying to figure it out. Yeah, this was really rad. Came together really well. Okay. Oh, this is the repetitive part, right? Where I'm just building these little frames, which they're individual enough to where I don't notice that I'm doing it again, but I can see this being, oh, gotta build another section of this stupid gantry. Times 4. N'est-ce pas? I only have 2 of those. No, I have more of those. You guys roll away on me. NASA doesn't have that problem. What happened to our solid fuel couplings? Well, they rolled under the stupid base again. We need to get a better table. Okay. Lego stuff coming up. I can't think of anything else really before that maybe happening this week. Specifically, if you do, throw it in the chat. Just August 1st releases, I think. And that's going to be a lot of stuff, but the only thing I'm worried about is the lunar buggy. I think there's a new Technic car coming out, a McLaren, right? Race car. It's coming out. It's got to be more than that. I think there's a handful of other like creator sets and stuff. Maybe some more Animal Crossing things. Not really sure. Nearly done. That's gonna be extra. Oh, goodness. Cool, cool, cool. So, be back on Thursday, 8 p.m. I think. Let me make sure something randomly hasn't been scheduled. Oh, if you guys aren't fans of Kyle Hill, go check out his channel. He's the sci-fi, or the, he used to be, what was it? Because Science guy on Nerdist, and he's done his own thing. He does a great series in general about like nuclear plants and the safety of nuclear stuff, and it's called Half-Life Histories. Nuclear accidents, erroneous claims of safety, those kinds of things. He's got a great series out about the death of the internet and how AI killed the internet, and how the internet is basically not human run anymore. And it's kind of terrifying, and it's really great. So if you can go check that out, I'd highly recommend it. Oops. Wrong Kyle. Oh, you mean the Kyle that was sitting next to me at Brick Rodeo? His mechs were great. I liked sitting next to him. So there's this guy sitting next to me that did a bunch of Titanfall mechs, like 20 of them. And they were all fantastic. And it was his first convention, so it was really rad. And he's working on not only adding more mechs, but like increasing his base footprint so they can all kind of exist together instead of like just separately on a table. He and his wife were very, very nice to sit next to. Good kids. On top of the fact that every time somebody came by and saw my Horizon set or model, and they're like, "What's this from?" and I would explain it to them. They're like, "Oh, I don't know this one." I'm like, "Oh, Xbox or PlayStation?" And they'd go, if they were PlayStation, they'd be like, "Yeah, I recognize that." And if they were like, "Oh, Xbox," I could go, "Down there. This guy's got you covered. He's got you set up." And they'd be like, "Oh my God, that's rad," you know? So, all right. So we're done for the day. This is the height we got on this mow. Probably going to go up another, probably to here. How many sections we got? Oh, goodness. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these, and then another half of that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got it till here of just this repeating section, and then another full section. So it's going to be up to well off camera. I don't know how we're going to do this on camera. I'll figure it out, but anyway. So that's where we're at. Thursday, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll just do more of this. Maybe I'll go back to ooh, yeah, we'll have to do a measuring contest, Johnny. I have a feeling you might win. No. Yeah, I don't even know if it says. Sometimes it says how tall it is. Oh yeah, it does right here. 70 centimeters. 27.5 inches. So get on it with Baradur and let me know which one's bigger. I don't know if you heard that. I was looking away from the mic. 70 centimeters, 27.5 inches. Let me know. Cool. Well, thanks for hanging out with with me, James, Johnny, Rocky. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you stopping by. If you don't come back before 2025, I'll look you up when we head out to the UK. Missy, thanks for being here. Launchpad, I really appreciate you stopping by. I'm a big fan of your channel and all that you do for the Mars base or the space community. So thanks for being here. Hope to see you again sometime soon. You guys have a good rest of your weekend, and I will see you Thursday. Take care. Bye.